Hey yo, what's good though? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, as I'm sure every single one of you is already aware, a couple of weeks ago we had a Pokemon Presents. Within that Pokemon Presents, they gave us pretty much close to nothing in terms of announcements. Naturally, they made sure to update us on every single app under their belt, so we know everything that's going to be happening with Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Masters, and of course, Pokemon Cafe Remix. I'm sure they also said something about Pokemon Sleep, but, I was already half asleep, so I was just getting ahead of the game. Naturally, of course, we got information regarding the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as well as a Mew and Mewtwo event that's going to be happening probably within the next week or something like that. They also showcased a little bit of what I assume to be the dub for the official anime Pokemon Horizons, which I still plan to react to. I'm just waiting for them to drop everything on Netflix so we could do this all in one go. However, one of the most underrated announcements for me personally was the announcement for the miniature animated series Pokemon Paldean Winds. Now, I kind of purposefully waited to talk about this so late because I wanted to forget about it for a little bit, because frankly, I needed to see this. At the time of this recording, it releases in exactly a week from today, and it feels like the wait has been forever, even though it's only been probably less than a month at this point. So I'm sure a couple of you are confused because you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail, probably sitting there thinking something like, wait a minute, Soul sounds kind of excited. What is it about this web series that could possibly make him irrationally angry? Well, that's just it right there, Chief. I'm so excited, and that makes me incredibly angry. I'm so excited for Pokemon Paldean Winds that it's actually ridiculous. I'm irrationally angry because they decided yet again to just make it another web series. So I'm sure you're sitting there right now, head tilted, face fixed, thinking, what is wrong with this guy? Well, to properly explain myself, I'm gonna need you and I to go ahead and take a quick step back in time. Do you remember a little series by the name of Pokemon Generations? If you know what it is, great. You know exactly where I'm going with this. But for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let me tell you a little something. What I'm about to say right now might be a little more on the bold side. However, this is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Pokemon Generations was the start of the best depiction of Pokemon's story in the entirety of the franchise. From Generations to Evolutions to Twilight Wings and to most recently Pokemon Hisui and Snow, we have gotten some of the best in-depth stories that this series has to offer, and it's infuriating because of how they're presented. And naturally, Pokemon Paldean Winds is going to follow this exact trajectory. And I'm happy that it exists, but I'm mad that this is how we're getting it. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Pokemon Generations is an 18-episode miniature animated web series presented by Pokemon Company. This little series here depicts the most iconic stories within Pokemon, told and untold. It shines a different light on all of the events that have occurred throughout Pokemon's history, whether it be from the Kanto region, the Johto region, Hoenn, Sinnoh, all of it. Now, hold on, let me slow down a little bit. Pokemon Generations specifically only goes up to about Gen 6 with episode 18. They didn't really follow up again on this miniseries situation until about 4 years later when they introduced us to Pokemon Twilight Wings, which came out just a couple of months after the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield. The thing about Pokemon Twilight Wings was that it was solely focused on the characters and stories that were happening within the Galar region. However, it was another miniseries and it was a damn good one. It wasn't until Pokemon Evolutions that we actually received a true sequel to Pokemon Generations, a series that followed individual stories within different regions. And just like everything before it, Pokemon Evolutions blew everything absolutely out of the park with its stellar animation, music, and characters. It was incredible. And then of course there's the unsung bunch of the few, which is Pokemon Hisui and Snow. Definitely a lot less talked about, but still absolutely stellar in its own way. It's a beautiful watch, and if you haven't watched any of these series yet, I highly recommend you check them all out before even continuing this video, because I promise you it is worth every minute. You could finish all of these within like 2 hours, because every episode of every series is like 5 to 12 minutes max. And now, with all of these, you're sitting there thinking, alright, well, it sounds like Pokemon Paldean Winds is going to follow the tradition of this absolutely stellar series that they've got going with the animated web series. So, what's the issue? The primary issue I have with it, my champ, is that it is not enough. It is never going to be enough. Like I said, most of the episodes of these little animated web series only go on for about 5 minutes each, depicting completely different stories. It's frustrating because it's the best way that it's ever been told, and it's just almost nothing. It's like a crumb of what I really want from this series. For example, the second episode of Pokemon Generations, just those 5 minutes alone made me respect a character that I despised for most of my career in Pokemon. When I first met Looker in 4th gen, I was not interested in anything that he had to say or do. He was a boring character to me, he was just annoying, he would stop me for no reason, he would get in my way, he would just be around. He served absolutely no purpose to me. The next time that we met up with him in the 6th gen post game, that didn't do his character any favors either. He gave me the impression of this annoying goofball that took credit for all of the work that you were doing. In just this one episode alone, this has changed my entire outlook on Looker. This man has allegedly been running with the PPD since before I was out of diapers, bruh. And not just working with them, he was running ops with them on Giovanni, the leader of Team Rocket. It was Looker the entire time in Gen 1 that allegedly had Giovanni on the run like that. Dude only managed to give out gym badges to Red and Blue before he dipped. And Giovanni is nothing to sleep on either. That man is a genuine demon, as heavily depicted at the end of that episode when he said that Pokemon are made for the sole purpose of serving Team Rocket. He don't play. But do you see what I'm getting at here? That episode by itself did so much for both Looker and Giovanni's characters. And that's the kind of thing that I appreciate because the games did not do these guys any justice. And the most frustrating part about this very fact is that pretty much every episode of all of the series is something just like this. My favorite episode of Pokemon Generations is undoubtedly episode 14, The Frozen World. This episode depicts the time in 5th gen when Team Plasma flew over Opelucid City with Kyurem and froze all of it. Now for starters, the animation in this episode is top tier, absolute peak animation. I love everything to the fights, the music, the sound effects, everything about this episode is movie-esque. I absolutely love it. But I think what I love most about this episode is how much it really emphasizes the danger that these people were in before us, the trainer, actually arrived in Opelucid City. These people were suffering at the hands of Team Plasma. They were sending their Pokemon, ravaging the place, destroying buildings, probably taking lives. And the only line of defense between them and destroying the entirety of the city for their sick project was Drayden. Drayden was single-handedly handling dozens of Team Plasma members with just his Haxorus. And bro was not there to play games or play hero, bruh. You mess with his town, you get the claws, bruh. He was, in every literal sense of the term, fighting for his life, for his and the rest of the town, and that was just so epic to me. This right here is exactly what I want every gym leader to look like in Pokemon games when there's something endangering the entire Earth. Gym leaders, Elite Four members, and the champion of that region are the strongest trainers in the region. If something is going wrong, they should be the ones that you call out to, not just the police department. And Drayden proved that he actually cared about these people because he was out there on the front lines by himself handling business. He wasn't there to mess around or play games. He wasn't negotiating, he was fighting back. He didn't have time to do anything else. It also showcased how much of a nutcase Colress is, bro. That's precisely why in 7th gen when I saw him again, I was like, what is he doing? He should be behind bars for what he did, bro. There's no way he should just be out here just frolicking about. There's no way, because this man is an actual psychopath. But jokes aside, this kind of thing really showcases the events in a different light. Team Rocket, Team Magma and Aqua, Team Galactic. All of these people are dangerous and should be treated as so. And it's only in times like Pokemon Generations where something like this is showcased. And that's infuriating. One of these days, I need to just sit down and talk in depth about each and every one of these miniseries because I feel like this video right here just simply cannot do it enough justice. All of these series have incredible characterization, absolutely stunning visuals, and insane choreography for these Pokemon fights. It's out of this world. And I expect the exact same situation for Pokemon Paldean Winds, which is why I'm upset. The character designs already look stellar for the original characters as well as the characters that we already know. The visual art style looks absolutely stunning. I know that the music is going to be phenomenal, and I know that they're going to tell a story that's going to be so beautiful and so short. Remember the leaders of Team Star? I bet you $1.50 that we're gonna get their backstories and they're going to be so incredibly sad. I already know for an absolute fact that by the time we're done with Pokemon Paldean Winds, everything that Team Star has done when it comes to the school will be absolutely justified because of how people were treating them. I know it. I bet $1.50, bro. I guess that at the end of the day, I'm just really sad because I want more just like this. Stories told within the Pokemon universe that are real, that are painful, that are genuine, that develop characters, that have great cinematography as well as choreography. And these web series have pretty much everything that I ask for and more. So why is it that these are stuck as web series when we get the Pokemon anime like Pokemon Horizons, which has probably almost none of that? I know I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself because Pokemon Horizons isn't even technically out for us yet, but come on, we've seen the Pokemon anime for years. It's gotten better over time, but I mean, come on, are you really going to try and compare some of the craziest stuff that happened in the main Pokemon anime to literally anything that's happened in Pokemon Generations or Evolutions or anything like that? Because guess what? You're going to be disappointed when you realize how much the Pokemon anime holds back. I know that it's going to be just like that for Pokemon Horizons because that's the mainline anime now. We're following these characters and they're new and fresh and everything like that, but it's the main Pokemon anime. They're not going to go that crazy with it. I can tell you that for a fact right now. But don't get me wrong. If I do turn out to be wrong when it comes to Pokemon Horizons, that would make me so happy. I would be glad to see them do everything that I want with that anime. But the thing is, I don't see them doing that specifically because they're releasing something like Pokemon Paldean Winds. And so, with that in mind, I'm extremely excited to see what Pokemon Paldean Winds brings to the table when it drops next Wednesday. But at the same time, I can't help but be so angry that it's gonna be this short mini-series that's gonna be absolutely beautiful and it's gonna stick with me forever, and then that's just it after like 6 or 7 episodes. I'm frustrated, and there's simply nothing that I could do about that. But hey, I guess that's just me. So I'm gonna need you guys to go ahead and do me a favor and tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree with my thoughts and feelings when it comes to Pokemon Paldean Winds, in which it's exciting, but kind of, you know, frustrating that we're not gonna get more like that in the main anime in a longer like format, much like the Pokemon anime? Or am I being absolutely irrational? I should be happy we're getting something like that at all, and we'll just enjoy it when it comes out and just be done with it. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always down there with you guys. But with that, yeah, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this right here. And with that, I'm Gonzo. Thanks again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.